There's no way Joe Biden is going to remain. There's no way these people in power are going to risk that power on this dementia-addled old fool.
This is about raw, bare-knuckled power when it comes to getting the votes you need in the places you need them, early voting, ballot harvesting, mail-in voting, the propaganda machinery of all that stuff, propaganda machinery of the Democrats. You bring all that together, and you could elect a turnip as the Democrat, and that's basically what they're going to do again. I would give you, I don't know how else to put this other than, we got to put a bet on this one. Whatever the most expensive lobster and all-you-can-eat scampi option is at Red Lobster, you are going to be, you're going to have to pay for it for me if I'm right, and put on my Red Lobster bib with a photo taken, okay? I want Jesse Kelly doing the bib for me of Red Lobster. All you can eat scampi, my man. You know, that stuff doesn't come cheap. So I'm trying to get you prepared for this. And I will make good on my side of the bet too. If you are right, you can go Alaskan crab legs. It's been a good year in radio. We could do Alaskan crab legs for you at Red Lobster.
I actually forgot about the bib thing until Matt just played that back for Buck and I right now. Dang it. All right, Buck. I am curious. Joining me now, of course, Buck Sexton, host of the biggest radio show in the country, the Clay and Buck Show. Buck, I am curious. I need you to shoot me straight here. You know, we're friends. How confident are you still in the wake of the news today, the Hunter Biden news? Joe Biden is obviously not getting any better at public speaking. How confident are you still that they're going to ride this pony all the way into the election?
Well, look, I'm glad that you're starting it out that way. And let me also note that I didn't realize in that clip, the all-you-can-eat shrimp, I apparently am a prophet when it comes to knowing that Red Lobster is going to go bankrupt. Because I was like, that's expensive. Yeah, turns out it was so expensive that they have to go into restructuring. Anyway, it's just the way it is, just the facts. I'm glad that you're not approaching me like a degenerate gambler who's asking for just $5 more to put on a pony after he's lost everything here. There is no way, okay? There is no way that they're going to replace Joe Biden with anyone other than Kamala Harris. And I'm going to tell you something. I've talked to some people who are, the ones that I always want to hear from on this issue are they aren't insane, which means they like Trump, right? I mean, even I'll give credit to Russell Brand. He's basically like, if you're not crazy, you're going to vote for Trump this time. Like, if you're not completely opposed to like freedom and all that is good in the world, you're going to vote for Trump, not Biden. Okay. The debate, though, from people I know who are pro-Trump, but not everything he does is perfect, they're a little concerned about how this debate ends up going. Because for one thing, the expectations for Biden are so low, and we all know that. That he may come out of the debate with a bump, and that may create some momentum. And I think even beyond that, they're going to ask Trump, who won the 2020 election, on stage with tens of millions of people watching. And you and I both know how that's going to go. Trump's just not going to back off that one bit. So I think Biden is banking it all on the turnaround, or the beginning of the turnaround, I should say, that'll happen on that debate stage. There are drugs. I found this out. There are things they can give people to like help with mental acuity and stuff because of dementia. I thought that was just a thing that people talked about. That's real. I've had doctors call into the show and say, no, there are, I forget the name of it, but there are stuff you can give people. They'll give it to them.
There is. No, and they very clearly have been giving it to him. Everyone remembers the State of the Union. He was so hopped up on amphetamines. He looked like Hunter S. Thompson up there. Everyone knows they're giving him something to try to get him through
he looked
whatever
like Hunter
he's
Biden.
Getting through. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I used the wrong Hunter. How could I do that? It was spoon-fed for me. You know what? Let's go actually there, Buck. Okay, Hunter gets convicted today. It's not a small deal. We've all accepted that Hunter Biden's a criminal. Everyone knows it because he records his crimes. But it is a big deal that the son of the president is now a convicted felon, or is it anymore? Are we so used to all this stuff, Trump's convicted, Hunter's convicted, that it's not that important?
Yeah, I think that it doesn't move the needle. I think that people don't care, and especially because this is the most really low level from a public interest perspective. I don't know where you are on this. I actually think this law is kind of a garbage law. And I say that knowing that it's being used against our enemies right now politically. So, that's to the good. It is the law. So if you're going to get Trump on a business records error, from years ago, law is a law, right? So that's what they're saying. But just as a principle matter, I think that this thing about like if you've been using weed, you can't buy a gun and you're a felon if you do. Anyway, put that aside. I don't think anyone really cares. The big stuff is this selling influence to China, money laundering, obviously tax evasion, failure to register as a foreign agent, which again, I don't think failure to register as a foreign agent. I didn't used to think that was a big deal, but it was when it came to Trump and Paul Manafort and all the rest of it. So if those are the rules, right, they got to play by the rules too. We have to make them play by the rules too, which hasn't been happening nearly as much as it should. So no, I don't think anyone cares. I mean, Hunter's not going to spend it. Tell me if you disagree with any of this. Hunter's not going to spend a day in prison, so there's really no loss to him. I mean, everyone knows Biden's going to pardon him. That's not. It's funny that he says he's not. You know what I mean? But of course he's going to pardon his son. So we'll see.
Yeah, of course he's going to pardon his son. You know what? We're going to switch gears because you brought up old Trump, and the VP talk has been hot and heavy out there. You had Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin on your show, asked him about the VP stuff. This is what he said.
Have you talked to Trump or his team at all about being on this ticket potentially as a vice president? Have they reached out?
The reality, of course, is that I have been focused on the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I stay focused on the Commonwealth of Virginia. I've got a big job, which I love, and also there's huge talent in the Republican Party. And so, of course, know all the names and the people that have been tossed around, and I deeply respect all of them. And I think it would be a great ticket with any of them. And so I am very, very confident in our ability to work hard for the president to be competitive in Virginia. And I think we got a real shot at it.
The most political answer I've ever heard in my life. These guys are such masters at saying absolutely nothing. But the VP thing, okay, Buck, you saw the short list. I have some loves, I have some hates on there, but it's not about me. What's smart for Trump? Who does he pick?
Well, first, just on the Youngkin answer there, that's not the response of somebody who's going to be Trump's VP. That's the response of somebody who's going to run for president in 2028. I think that's very clear. He's not in the mix for Trump VP. I don't think he wants that job. I don't think he would take that job, quite honestly. I think the same is true of Governor DeSantis in Florida. On the list you have there, okay, I'm just going to lay it out. I mean, I can do a sort of a rapid fire on this. Keep it up there for a second. J.D. Vance, I've said I think he should be the guy, and I've said I think he will be the guy. Rust Belt voters, white working class voters are going to determine this election. It's going to be determined in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Georgia maybe too, but I mean, those are the big three: Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. J.D. Vance can speak to the white working class voters there. I know now he's a fancy venture capital guy who went to Yale, but he grew up, as everyone knows, from hillbilly elegy in very sort of difficult white working class circumstances. Anyway, Marco Rubio, I mean, Marco is fine. I got nothing bad to say about him. I think he's learned a lot since the days of the Gang of Eight Senate bill, which was an amnesty bill. I think he burned his hand on that. I think he burned his hand trying to tangle with Trump in 2016, but he's good on foreign policy stuff. The donors like him. He's slick. He brings the Latino component to it. Tim Scott, nice guy. Not good on BLM, if you remember back in 2020. And also he helped sink a federal judge in a way that I thought was I did not like it. So I think that Tim Scott is a very nice person from what I can tell. I don't know him. He seems like a very good man overall. But I don't think he'll win many black votes. So if it's about trying to get more of the black vote, I just don't believe that will happen. Elise Stefanik, good on Israel, but a liberal Republican. So take that for what it's worth. She's worried about climate change. Byron Donalds, is he really in contention? I haven't really heard that, but I'd have to look into Byron's record more. It seems like a good dude. And then Ben Carson, a real doctor, unlike Jill Biden. Ben Carson is an impressive man, a soft-spoken, brilliant, very decent man. I can't see that being that, because I think Trump doesn't really generally, I think he doesn't want to have a brawler in the mix. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want two guys in the bar who are ready to throw punches quickly. And so Ben Carson would be a calming influence on Trump, I think, to the degree that that's possible.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, the VP should be what you're not. Buck, that's all we have time for today. Appreciate you, my friend. I
You're
can't wait for you to buy me Red Lobster when they shove Joe Biden out the door.